All right, so here's the story. I bought this Makita biscuit joiner a while back. Used it a little bit to make a bench, sort of like the one that is sitting on right now, to align boards to keep everything from shifting, basically. And recently, I fucking busted it. So I want to take it apart to see why or how, and possibly fix it with these, I think. But before any of that, just some notes. It's a biscuit joiner. It performs admirably as that. The switch is kind of in a shitty position on the side here. Not a huge fan because it's your hands are all on top of each other, which is not the most fun. You know, it's not super convenient. I think it'd be nice if it was back here on the ass of it, or maybe on the handle, but such is life. Kind of pricey for what it is. That's what I'll say. How I broke it and what's wrong with it is that it no longer slides, and you got to put a lot of muscle into actually making it slide. And the springs that make it retract backwards no longer are good enough. And what happened is it fell off the workbench and hit on this, on the ground. So, without further ado, let's take it apart. You unscrew this. Oh, first you gotta do that because the blade's in the way. You are revealed with the blade. You hit the little button on the back to lock it up, hopefully. And then you go fucking nuts. Which way? Not that way. That way. You go that way. Undo this thing. Take the blade out. Dust extraction. And a thing that I thought was kind of neat was this blade. Because obviously it doesn't have a lot of teeth. Obviously, it doesn't have a lot of teeth. However, it's got these really deep gullets. And the chips that it makes are these really fat sort of chips, which leads me to believe that this thing is spinning relatively low speed, I think, compared to like a standard saw blade, so that it needs space to make those really big chips and extract the really big chips. So there's that. There's this thing. Keep it on. There's this thing. Keep it on. And then we're confronted with 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Make sure my drill's going the right way. And we take those suckers out. And I don't know. They're normal screws. They got they have little washers on them. It's a screw. Nothing very much fancy. And then this whole thing sort of wiggles off. And then we're met with the guts. And as you can see, this, to me, is now just an angle grinder. It's an angle grinder with an extra handle up here instead of out here. But maybe it's a smaller angle grinder. I'm not an expert. It's got this yellow grease in it, which is, I don't know, whatever. It's got the helical gear here. Here's a little piece that locks the blade, which seems kind of thin. It seems fairly small. I'm not trying to get it necks down, which is like, I don't know. I crank on that thing kind of hard to get the blade off. Maybe you could snap this thing off eventually. Who knows? And then we got this, the base. And this is the piece that engages and spins the blade up there, obviously. And we have this little plastic guard thing, which I'm not 100% sure what the point of this plastic guard thing is. But this isn't the problem. The actual body of the damn thing is sort of whatever. Works fine. it spins. Whereas this is sort of doing that. It's really tough to move. And so my guess was that I bent the rods. Yeah, my guess was I bent the rods. These rods that it's sliding on. And, because this big, beefy thing got hit on the butt of it and sort of torqued the whole thing over and therefore bent these rods. So it cocked over the side, bent the whole thing. Was my guess. Whether or not that's true, I guess we'll find out. Because I bought some new rods. They were, I don't know, $6 or something like that a piece. And then I paid for too fast a shipping, which might have brought my total to like, I don't know, $25 or something like that. I'm just going to lock this. Just going to lock that so this will be out of the way. And I'm going to bang the existing rods with the new rods. And hopefully, oh fuck. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll get a pencil and bang it with the eraser. There we go. And bang that with the eraser. And out they come. So, new rods. And they slide, they slide in and out of this pretty nice. They seem to fit there. They seem to fit here. No problem. No issues. They go either way. And they slide in this. Also, no problem. Yeah. I mean, it's late. And it slides on the other side, no problem. Which leads me to believe that, like, my fantasy is that one of these is just a little bit bent, but not enough to fuck up the inside of here. So I am going to get some rods that I've prepared already from the store, from the internet store, and slide those in gingerly, hopefully, and get this back on also gingerly. And it's going pretty good. Everything's sticking on the left with the new rods. Oh yeah. Oh, now it's like stuck on the right. Oh, fuck me. Okay. So not a good sign. Brand new rods. Already stuck. But I'm going to give it a shot. Just for the sake of trying. Oh yeah, no. Still fucked. Yep. Still 100% fucked. So, since the rods are brand new, I know, and they slide in and out of everything pretty much fine. They go through here okay by themselves. You motherfucker. Okay, there we go. So they go through here, no problem, right? We take them out. They go individually through this thing, no problem, obviously, like the old ones. Which leads me to believe that what happened here is that the casting, whatever, this is like aluminum or something, I want to say. It's got letters on it. Oh, it says, see if we can get this. It says AL up there, which, hey, that sounds like aluminum to me. And then down here, it's got some bullshit numbers, which don't mean anything. So my conclusion is that what happened is as this thing was riding and it got such a hard force torquing it over to the side that something in this casting is bent. And therefore, individually the rods go through just fine. But when you line up two together, they're no longer coplanar and parallel and all that shit. So I think this thing is pretty well fucked, which is a bummer. Unless I think I'd have to replace this whole casting, and I'd have to pull this bearing, and I'd have to pull this thing out, and figure out how to. I mean, this all looks sealed. I'm doing my best AVE impression here, but I am not AVE. So I think this is about as far as I can take it comfortably. I mean, so I think for me, the 200 or whatever dollar, 200, I think it was about $220 for this biscuit joiner, which is a lot of money for a biscuit joiner. My $220 biscuit joiner is no fucking good because I think this casting got bent, which sucks. So, would I recommend you buy this biscuit joiner? No, I would not. I don't like where the button is. So let's start with the little stuff. I don't like where the button is. I think this thing is maybe a little wimpy. This thing seems maybe a little wimpy. Like you're going to bust it off. The button here on the top to lock the blade or whatever. So you can loosen it. And it's a lot of money. It's really pricey. You can get way cheaper biscuit joiners. But typically the reason you get Makita shit is because it's way overkill. I'm not a contractor. I have Makita shit. It's way overkill for me. I don't need it. And the reason you get Makita shit is because you'll never break it and it'll outlast you. However, this thing dropped, I don't know, about 30 inches to the floor and now requires a new casting. So it doesn't even, come up to the standards of Makita overkill nonsense. So this thing seems like a big old dud to me. I'd recommend you get a different one. Do some Amazon reviews, watch some reviews. Maybe you know what? If I was gonna get a biscuit joiner again, I would probably end up getting the cheapest one I could find. And because this is the United States of America, and I live 2 inches away from a Home Depot, I've picked up some Ryobi tools, like the hot glue gun, and this just to suck sawdust off the workbench here. And I think like a biscuit joiner is such a niche tool that you're not going to be reaching for a whole lot, that I'd go for, honestly, the cheapest thing that works. Yep, that's about it. Thanks for your time. Busted biscuit joiner. Have a good one. Bye.